What's up, Virgo friends? Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. Hope everybody had a lovely holiday. It feels like I haven't done videos in ages, but it's been about a week and a half. So anyway, welcome back to the subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Welcome to the newbies. We are going to do, as your cards fly out everywhere, this is going to be roughly your January monthlies. Happy New Year, by the way. This is going to be January 2020. That feels so weird to say, but so exciting. As always, general messages on YouTube here means that not everything I say will resonate with all the Virgos out there. So it is up to you guys to come into this with an open heart and an open mind. Not everything I say will resonate, so it's up to you to distinguish the messages, to determine the messages that you feel are meant for your best and highest good. Virgo, you will know intuitively what those are. Feel free to check the Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs as always for additional messages, for more information. Anything that doesn't fit your circumstance, drop it like it's hot. It probably means it's a message for someone else. I ask you to like, share, subscribe wherever you can. That helps my channel a whole lot. And everything else is written in the description box below. So we're going to get started for my Virgos. Roughly, wow, you poppers. You guys, I knew you're the first video I'm doing, and I knew Virgo had to go first, and I don't know why, but yeah, you guys were calling out to me. So got the worker card in Capricorn season. I like seeing that, and the Hierophant card of Taurus. Interesting. All right. Did I hit up on everything? I hope I did. Check the description box below. That'll tell you my social media, the cards I'm using, the decks, etc. All right, Virgo. So your energy coming into roughly the month of January. Two of Swords. So potentially a crossroads, something weighing heavily on your thoughts. Can also be a card of deflection or protecting your energy, protecting your heart. It is a card of Libra, specifically with that sword energy, and with the two, it's the balance of our minds, but it's also impacting the heart space. As a lot of Libra cards do, we also think about, the Three of Swords, which is all about heartbreak and pain, like an imbalance of the heart. So interesting. That's being crossed with the Fool. All right. So the turning of a new page, the starting up of a new cycle, the ability to set yourself free. It's almost like in your mind, you haven't released yourself from some sort of heavy thought from, I do want to say, the past. It's like we're trying to move away from the past here, but you're keeping yourself stuck. Almost like, sort of like mental prison vibes is sort of what I'm getting. There's something that it feels like you're ready to release it, right? With that Fool, it's very lighthearted, beginning of a new, taking, great leaps of faith. Just this card alone, the color of it, it's shrouded in light, illumination, sunlight, that pure, innocent rose, that fresh beginning. And yet this is like the complete opposite, right? It's very cool. It's very, there's something like a refraining, not wanting to move forward, or not feeling like you're able to move forward, not feeling like you mentally have made peace with something that's going to allow you to progress. So that's sort of what your energy is coming as. That now I just want to note this was the bottom of your deck, so we'll keep that in mind as we make our way through rather. But it may have to do with leaving a workplace. That's not going to be for everybody. This can also be the card of like the apprenticeship, the artisan. So yes, it could have to do with your career, but also working through the problem is sort of what I'm getting. It's almost like a metaphor for this. Mentally, you haven't quite worked your way out of this situation where you feel free, where you feel that liberation, where you feel weightlessness and lightheartedness and joy. It's almost like what's coming up is, how do I get this? And I almost said, how do I get this back? So I don't know if there was a circumstance in the last, whatever it is for you, this is a general reading, the last year, the last 6 months, the last couple of weeks, that made you feel, stuck. Painted into a corner is sort of what I'm getting. How do we work our way through this and commit to our spiritual path again, to commit to, it's like allowing yourself the freedom to move on from this. With the Hierophant, the Pope, the priest, it's a card of spirituality, tapping into that spirituality, and also the idea of groups and leadership, joining a new group, sometimes this could be a card of family. It doesn't have to be. It could be going back to the church, going back to your soul tribe, the people that make you feel welcome. Or vice versa, if you're trying to liberate yourself from a group, right? Maybe it has to do with your work. Maybe it has to do with a toxic family situation. Working through that so you can put your mind at ease, find that inner peace again. Yeah, because with this card too, it feels like you've been waiting a tremendous amount of time. It could be 3 months, but honestly, it feels longer than that to me. It could, I don't know if it's 3 years. The number 3 may or may not have anything to do with it. That may be a significant number to you, Virgo. But yeah, with the Emperor, a lot of you, it may have to do with a work situation, career, your boss, not feeling satisfied, or waiting for some sort of victory, some sort of promotion or acknowledgement, or some sort of significant moment where it's like you've crossed the finish line. Yeah, okay, there it is. I was gonna say, I kept hearing mental prison, then you get the mental prison card. So yeah, I mean, this does feel like it is, you know, falling directly in line with everything I was saying. You're waiting for that offer that's going to transform. And there's that other card we were talking about, another card of Libra, 3 of Swords. There's heartbreak and there's pain until there is some sort of stable building, some stable change, movement, you know, a solid foundation, right? This is sometimes the card of a soulmate, so maybe some of you are getting over a little bit of heartbreak and pain there. Absolutely, very possible. Yeah, some of you are waiting to hear back from someone who made an offer and then like reneged or took it back. You're waiting for that offer to come back, but in like a higher vibration and a higher state. Again, yellow, like a illuminated, and because it goes from the ace to the page, it's like you want the offer to pack more gusto, more zest, more bang. Because yeah, what was offered before, it was either taken away from you, or it caused more difficulty than joy, or it put you in an awkward position where it felt like this, right? I mean, 5 of Pentacles, any 5 in tarot is really difficult, challenging energy, trudging through that snow barefoot, abandonment, loss, hardship, sickness, illness, issues with money, issues with your health, but yeah, also feeling at odds with a person or with a group. And what's so important about this card too, because you had the Hierophant come up, there is salvation in front of you, Virgo. There is salvation within the church, right? If you were to, you know, knock on the door, you know, all are welcome, right? All of God's children are welcome, however you believe in. It's coming. It's saying like the universe is trying to welcome you back into higher vibrational thinking and getting back on track for you, right? Being your own boss, being your own emperor, not waiting around for someone to you know, bring that offer back around to you. It's about going out and chasing it yourself. And I mean, that's what this is, isn't it? Do I or don't I? Am I ready to start anew? Am I ready to take a leap of faith? Or have I not quite mentally worked through what I'm going through right now? And that's fine, right? I mean, you had I almost said 3 of Hearts. You had 3 of Swords come up for a reason. So clearly there's some pain and disappointment, heartbreak, suffering. There's different severities of what this could be. Have you been able to heal and cope from it? Or are you still working through that? That's sort of what I'm getting. A lot of you are still working through it, right? And healing is a very personal process, right? I can't put a timestamp on that for you. But when the 8 of Swords comes up, no shade, Virgo, right? I say this out of love. I'm just reading what the cards present. When this card comes up, it's saying it's false beliefs. You, Virgo, are keeping yourself trapped by not removing the blindfold. 2 cards where she's wearing the blindfold, right? These swords downward, right? Not channeling messages from above. Swords are all about communication. You have so many spiritual cards here. Not vibing high, not receiving those messages from a higher source. They're pointed down. They're stuck in the ground. They're false thoughts. They're false beliefs. They're keeping you stuck. If you were to remove the blindfold and see things from a different perspective, I'll see if we have the Hangman here. That would be very appropriate. You would recognize that you can slip out through that like little ribbon that's tied you up, right? Something that you thought you could never conquer, you couldn't slide through or remove yourself from. This situation, if you remove the blindfold, you'll see, oh, like this isn't my truth anymore. I thought that's what this meant. I thought that's what they said. I thought they were coming back. I thought I was going to be stuck at this job forever. It's not true. It's almost like opening your heart up to new possibilities that are going to bring you greater joy. And with the card of death, saying goodbye to what isn't serving you any longer, a job, a person, a family dynamic, whatever, right? It could be something as minor as just a difficult situation. Releasing the past and moving on. And again, look, the Pope, the Hierophant, spirituality, faith, universe, whatever you believe in, something greater, source, universe, it's guiding you. It's saying, yes, Virgo, this way, come. Like, come to me, my child. And I mean, I laugh, but like, I'm not here to push any religion down your throat. You know, whatever you believe in is fine. But this is saying, instead of waiting for an opportunity to be placed in your hand, what if you went out to chase it, right? And again, I'm not saying that is just, you know, easy peasy, right? Or else you would have done it. There's clearly some fear and anxiety that's holding you back, but it's recognizing, where is that fear coming from? What can I do to step out of this Eight of Swords energy? Again, the mental prison. You hold the key, Virgo. And speaking of which, where's my Hierophant? I should just keep him out. The Hierophant is always presented with the keys. They've always been there, right? So this great metaphor of the mental prison, who holds the keys? Well, spirit, God, but you have part of that in you, right? You can communicate directly with spirit, directly with God, right? I mean, you have two higher vibrational swords sticking up, right? Channeling those messages. What are you going to do with them? And I mean, she's blindfolded, so it does talk about an internal decision. You make it with your heart, right? The visual clues aren't necessarily going to be around you. You're going to know intuitively, again, with that moon, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. You may have that strong in your chart. You're going to know intuitively what decision to make, because ultimately that's what this is. It's a crossroads of your thoughts. It's a decision, this way or that way. But the potential for you to, I don't even want to say choose the right path, because that's not how I preach, but whatever path you end up choosing, there is an underlying energy for it to bring you great joy, and not only that, freedom. That weight you've been carrying around, it to be lifted, it to be vanished, it to be, over and done with. And then it's like the sun comes out, right? Cycles, the moon to the sun. There's joy and freedom and happiness, but it doesn't come easily without needing to release some really heavy thoughts from the past. And committing to the idea that this path is worth pursuing. Why would you want to stay in an energy any longer? It's almost like the idea of you're going to miss the boat. Like the time has come. This card is saying the cycle is complete. The cycle is over. Are you going to put on your battle armor and get back out there one last time? Or are you there's different ways to deal with death, right? You can welcome it like the Pope. You can turn away from it like the woman in the Strength card. You can be intrigued by it, right? Childlike innocence. Or you can just lay down and roll over and take it, right? It's just like, death has come. This is where it all ends for me. And that's not true. Death is all about the transition and the cycles, right? All right. I have so many cards for you. Let's see. So what's going on in your subconscious? This is going to be a long video. The Queen of Cups. Yeah, you're stuck up in your feels, right? Also a card of Cancer. That may mean something to someone. Maybe you were with a Cancer. I also see this as a card of motherhood, maternal energy, someone very nurturing and kind. The Queen of Emotion, the Queen of the heart space, the Queen of Intuition. So again, also saying in your subconscious, which is where your intuition rules and exists, you know what the right decision is. So for those who are questioning it, I really don't though, I see a positive outcome in both ways, or the opposite, I see a blocked door in both directions I could go. Follow your intuition, tap into that. And because her cup is closed, a couple things here: closing off your heart to those who don't deserve your energy and your kindness, and also opening your cup up to those trying to give you important messages. And again, because it's an internal decision of which way to go. When I say opening your cup up to those trying to give you messages, spirit guides, universe, God, universe, whatever you believe in, opening your cup up to the right people. And I'm trying to say this in a delicate way. There is something here about not jumping into bed with people as a band-aid of needing to feel happiness, needing to feel love again. It's like, I hope you understand what I'm saying. And again, no shade. I got tons of Cancer in my chart, but something about this is coming up with sharing your cup with too many people. Promiscuity is sort of what's coming up. It's like when you feel rejected by someone, you immediately seek sort of your cup to be filled by anyone who's willing to do it. And I mean, ultimately, I think that's sort of what's ending up in this kind of energy. You may be sharing cups with the wrong people, going down bad avenues that aren't good for your highest good, your highest vibration, okay? All right, so let's see. We'll take a quick peek at the past, the Hermit. Well, there's your card. Soul searching, soul seeking, individuality, and also the One. The Hermit goes on a spiritual journey by himself. And so I'm getting a couple things with that. I think you're trying to come into your higher being. You're trying to be the best version of yourself, right? This is your card. But with that, and also seeking internal wisdom, guidance, again, going within. I think you're trying, and that is badass energy. But what I got from this, because it's the One, how I was saying, it's like you're sharing cups with the wrong people. It does have to do with a fear of being alone. And that doesn't have to, for those who aren't single, right? That doesn't necessarily mean romantic partnership. Fear of having to go out and do it yourself. Fear of having to work through those difficult issues, that mental prison on your own. Some of you may suffer from like depression or anxiety, right? And as much as your spouse or your counterpart or your mom or your best friend can support you, they can't do that internal work for you. And so, yeah, there is a need to recognize this is a battle I have to fight on my own. It's a really like heavy message though. And I mean, I always like it when your card comes up in your own spread, Virgo. I always see that as a good thing. So what are your goals or something that like, you know, you're looking forward to or trying to, yeah, I don't even have to go into it. Your goals are overcoming this. This is a card of endurance, of strength. The 7 of Wands, it's a card of Leo, so king of the jungle, right? Pouncing on opportunities, pouncing on what we love. Courage. How much more can you endure though? It feels like, again, this is like an uphill battle. This is an individual battle. And it's like you just want some help. What's so cool about this card though is that the 7 of Wands. Did I say swords earlier? Wands, I'm sorry. This indicates power and struggle. And so while it feels like you are overburdened by obstacles, right? You have 6 wands coming at you. You're having to deflect and fight off. It also indicates that no matter what the, what's the word? No matter how difficult the obstacle or challenge that stands before you, yes, you may have 6 projects, you may have 6 people, you may have 6 whatever coming at you, right? This is all in metaphor. God has your back. Universe has your back. So no matter what this looks like, it actually is a fair fight because you have spirit on your team. You have universe on your team, right? It's like there's protection here. You are divinely guided. You are divinely protected. And the idea of not being stable in your footing, not feeling like at all times that you can conquer the world, that you can do this. Your goal though, I mean, because it's coming up in your goal section, is to win the battle, is to keep fighting the fight. Well, that's fantastic energy, right? Let's throw something else on it because I feel like we need some guidance on that card. Bottom of your deck is 5 of Wands. So yeah, it's not going to be easy. It is going to be a bit of a struggle, but you know, it's the start of a new year. So again, Ace of Pentacles, this is a brand new chance to build, a brand new chance to grow, to plant that seed in new soil. Because yeah, it's like, I think some of you are trying to get away from, again, I'm speaking in metaphor, get away from some sort of environment where you weren't growing, where you weren't thriving. Because there was delay in moving on. And I don't think some of you have chosen to move on yet. I feel like that's coming probably in January into February. And there is no wrong answer. I think more than anything, this is recognizing that you're stuck and need to get out of this cycle, right? It's time to move on and seek some sort of change and distance yourself from what wasn't allowing you to grow spiritually. What other message does Virgo need for the 7 of Wands? Wands are all about endurance, action, energy, motivation. Hell yeah, you just got 2 amazing cards. Lots of water energy. So again, a lot of you are all up in your feels, your emotions, and that's not a bad thing, right? Being able to tap into how you feel and confidently say those things. I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that, and understanding where it's coming from. That's badass, right? That's a strength in and of itself, is recognizing where the emotions are coming from. So you have 3 of Cups, all about celebration, joy, reunions. This can be something like happy hour with the coworkers, or, you know, being among friends, sharing cups, but it's in a group of 3. So I take this to mean that this isn't necessarily a romantic relationship. There's going to be celebration in you keep fighting the fight, pushing through even when you thought you couldn't. There's reward that comes into you when you push through, when you choose to push through the obstacles, when you recognize that you can do this, you have the strength, you're a survivor, right? Like the Destiny's Child song, right? You got like, get into your headspace where you get amped up and motivated to go out and fight those things that you don't really want to fight, right? The things that maybe you're fearful of, the things that maybe scared you or broke your heart in the past. You're a fighter, you're a survivor. Christina Aguilera, fighter. I love that song. 9 of Cups is the wish fulfillment card. So yeah, by pushing through even on like your darkest day, your dark night of the soul, right? There is huge potential for joy and happiness and for your wishes to not only be heard, but to be achieved. But it's like you have to make the first move. Spirit's got your back, but it's like you have to show up to the table and do the work for there to be like an equal reciprocity with like your soul tribe, with your soul team, with your star player, right? Whatever you believe in. Badass cards though. You're fighting for love. I mean, whatever that means to you, and most importantly, loving yourself, right? I mean, your card came up for a reason, so. Amazing cards though. The 3 of Cups and the 9 of Cups, and they're just so beautiful. A really cool deck. Some of you are fighting for your family, particularly if you have gone through some sort of difficult hardship with money. If you're looking to like reestablish a solid foundation with money and like get your bank account healthy again, it's because you know people are depending on you. Keep pushing through. Don't throw in the towel, because yeah, like nine of Cups, your wish fulfillment, your emotional reward, even money flow can be cups. That is coming in, but yeah, giving up is not the answer here. All right, so what is potentially coming into you in the near future? The Knight of Wands, love it. Getting your zest back, getting your fire back, your energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, wands are all about what motivates us, what inspires us, action, forward movement, and also fun. The Knight of Wands is sometimes what we call the player of the zodiac, meaning if it's not fun, he's gonna up and leave. He's gonna up and quit. It's the hit it and quit it night if you're in romance, and I'm absolutely not suggesting that, because that's sort of what I was saying with this. I think that has been, for some of you, not all of you, a story that has been a common thread in your life, whether it was you, even if you went in with good intentions, maybe you were attracting this type of person. There's like a role reversal of you wanting to experience joy and fun for yourself in your own life. And I will say, this may actually have to do with you embracing solitude. And I know that's kind of a weird message, but it has to do with stepping into your power and you realizing what a fun and amazing and dynamic and yeah, like charming person that you are, going out into the world and spreading your joy, spreading your magic, spreading your fire. And the wand suit, right? They hold the magical wands, right? So it's going out and making magic, creating things in the world that you want to do and see and be a part of. And there is some sort of speed to it, some sort of urgency with the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Swords, I always say, is the fastest moving. The Knight of Wands is also quite fast. It's like a decision is made and you decide to move forward on that decision passionately, with confidence. I really like that. All right, so I don't know, we'll throw one of these on it. Why not? I reached for the deck, so maybe that's a sign. Yeah, there's some sort of major decision that is, again, I think it's weighing on you heavily. There will be freedom and release once you decide to, I do want to say, leave something behind. The liar, cheater, thief card, somebody who did you dirty, somebody who took advantage of your love, your finances, your whatever it is. Stepping into your power confidently. Yeah, there could have been like a third-party situation. That's not for all of you, but for some, you have 2 kings showing up. But this is like making executive decisions to be like the badass of your own life. Knowledge, or like the pursuit of knowledge. Some of you may be going back to school, or even something like putting out resumes, putting out applications, studying. I don't know why that's coming through. Waiting on some sort of important court decision. That might be weighing on your mind heavily. There's going to be communication of communications of important insights or information. And I am sort of hearing like final rulings, final judgment, a final cutting out of people who don't serve you in your life. Very heavy energy, card of Aquarius. But what I like about this, though, while this can be like a very cold, cutting, serious energy, right? This is like the fun night of the deck. So it's not saying that by making this decision, you're going into like hermit mode forever and, you know, you've committed yourself to being alone and solitude. It's not saying that. It's learning to like yourself on your own, not leaning on other people to remind you how great you are, recognizing like, I'm a mother effing badass and like, watch me shine, watch me have fun, watch me like conquer the world. What else do we need to know about this Knight of Wands for Virgo? There is a desire to stretch this out, to not make this decision, an avoidance again, because you are earth energy, Virgo. There's a desire to like let it grow very slowly. This is encouraging you to move forward on it. If you feel it intuitively, if you know it to be true, why are you delaying it any longer? Because there's so much joy and wish fulfillment trying to come in here, but ultimately it rests in your hands. Are you going to make the executive decision? It's not waiting for other people any longer. Yeah, and so clarifying the Knight of Wands is the heart. He goes because his heart tells him to, right? And for those who are getting out of a difficult place where maybe you have been single for a while, maybe you got out of a difficult relationship and you did remove yourself from the dating scene, maybe this does represent going out and flirting, right? Putting it out there that, hey, like, I'm kind of interested, right? Again, I would be careful that you are not using sex or relationships or dating as a band-aid to avoid the emotional healing that you need to do, right? Like, if using others as emotional band-aids is what was trapping you, you know, healthy mechanisms of coping, getting yourself out of that headspace of constantly needing partnership, that's not for everyone, right? For others of you, yeah, this is going out and dating. Absolutely. Going out and having fun, going out and doing what makes your heart happy. Creative projects, artistic things, singing, dancing, painting, drawing, you know, whatever. Karaoke at the bar, like something like that. This is fun energy, and it's doing it because your heart is telling you, yes, this feels good. This is fun. I love that you guys got this. That's like just such an amazing combination. Card of Sagittarius, if that means anything to anyone. Yeah. I've messed up all your cards here, but okay. Last advice or guidance. Knight of Swords. All right, there it is again. Speed. Speed, and I heard agility. Get yourself out of here, whatever this is. Again, healing and coping is a personal process. It feels like this is past its expiration. I keep hearing, get the hell out of there. Go. You already know your truth. You believe it, right? These decisions or these thoughts or these people that you're grappling with and this way or that way, or I can't because I feel trapped. You know how to get yourself out of there. It's like you go from the knight to the king. Acting on the decision and then like enforcing it in your life and committing to that idea. I'm no longer going to give away my power to other people. I'm no longer going to allow other people to make me feel less than or accept a pay that is below my skills or below my talents. Accept offers from people who they're shady as you know what. Like you're kind of done with the liar, cheater, thief of your life. It's like executive power, commanding the room and committing to this idea that like I'm in charge of my life. I know my inner truth and I'm going with what my truth tells me. And it's rooted in what your heart wants. That's what's so important. All right, so Knight of Swords and the Sun. Yeah. Moving towards happiness with speed, right? Rebirth, and you did have death. Sorry. I also have to find the cards when I'm looking for them. But yeah, it's like you transition out of this cycle of darkness where it's like you didn't know if you were ready to welcome it. Remember we talked about all these different characters, they're dealing with the idea of death very differently. And maybe that's literal for some of you. Maybe some of you lost somebody and you haven't been able to get over that heartbreak, particularly with an Aries. That came through for somebody. But yeah, it's getting out of this cycle, getting out of this headspace, this dark state of this is my truth and this is always my life, and blocking off your heart space, not wanting to let people in, not opening your mind up to possibilities of joy and happiness, and not only that, spirituality, faith, right? A higher vibration. This is saying to move towards that happiness because you know it's true. You know it's up around the bend. It's like a brand new start, the baby riding on a damn horse in the sunlight. There's so much joy here and renewal and growth. Your guidance is to move towards it faster. How do we get here faster? How do we restore our faith and our belief in something greater? Listen to your heart. Move towards what your heart is calling you to do. And for some of you, that's speaking your truth to a Leo that either did you wrong or someone that you have like emotional baggage with. So it could be a parent, it could be a friend, it could be a lover, it could be someone you've never told or expressed your truth to. Final advice or guidance for Virgo. We're going to wrap this up. Final advice or guidance for my Virgos. Patience. The tide will come when it is ready. To me, that says knowing when to move on this decision. That's the irony. I think you guys have been in this in-between state for so long that you're missing the signs and the signals that it is okay to move forward. When you know it's time to move forward, you will know instantly. Instantly. And maybe it's this video. These are the fastest moving knights in the deck. You're moving towards what you're passionate about and your inner truth. And again, something that needs to be communicated about what either isn't bringing you happiness and what is going to bring you happiness. Maybe some of you are finally settling a divorce or something like that. I'm going to pull one more for you. Okay, and because it's depicted as patience, the tide will come in when it is ready. You had a lot of water energy. The changing of the tides, the changing of the cycles. We talked about moon to sun. And water being emotions. Again, you have the queen of water, the queen of emotions. The tide will change when it is supposed to. That has to do with welcoming changes that come into your heart. Changes that are guiding your intuition, changes that are guiding your next move, your next big adventure that you're going to take, because that's really what the Fool is. This is like a major step in a new direction, something you've potentially never done before, a fresh start, a brand new chapter. I'll read it to you, but I don't know if I'm going to take it. Prudence, don't be lured by the siren song. Don't fall into old patterns of behavior. Things that, whatever first got you in that mental trap, that mental prison. For some of you, you are dealing with like an ex or somebody that did you dirty. Particularly in the workplace, keeps coming through. Somebody who really violated your trust or made you feel less than or just cut you down in front of people. You're recovering from it. It's like you're climbing back up that hill they pushed you off of and you're doing it on your own. That's what's so cool here. It's like you don't need anybody to succeed, Virgo, but do you realize that? Do you realize like you've always had the power? All right, one last card for Virgo. One last card for advice and guidance. Flow, let your worries drift away. Absolutely. Let it flow. The decisions will come to you, but be open to source and universe guiding your emotions, right? This is a heart over head decision. Because obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, but to me, what's going on in your head has not been helpful to you. It's keeping you stuck. All these swords, they're both cards of like imprisonment, right? Of being stuck, of being blocked, of being guarded. To me, this is a heart over head decision. Listen to what your heart wants, because it's going to lead you towards something you're more passionate about, something you're more excited about, and that's going to bring you happiness. That's going to bring you this new opportunity, this illumination of the truth to make this decision. That's going to start you on this new path. And my goodness, is it going to be a good one, right? You had the wish fulfillment card. Something about this decision being made, it is guiding you towards something that you've always wanted. And if you don't know what that is, then it's time to start thinking long term. What is your wish fulfillment? What is the end goal? What is the end plan for all of this? What is going to make you feel better? What is going to bring you more happiness and joy? All right, Virgo, that's what I got for you. This was quite a message. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what resonates for you, and I will see you very soon for more tarot.